Welcome to 52 Miniatures. This is live stream number 40. We are indeed live. Welcome. It's a Tuesday morning and it's 10 o'clock. And unfortunately, again, second week in the row, YouTube did not function. I set up the stream yesterday so people can get used to the fact that the stream exists and are alerted of the fact that I'm going to live stream. And when I was going to press go live, as you do, you just get a spinning wheel of death. Same thing happened last week. I had to remove the stream that people have been waiting in line for and start a new one. And this is just silly. Why have a live streaming service if it doesn't work? YouTube, come on. So I'm seriously going to consider checking out Twitch. Because, I thought it would be nice and simple to just live stream on YouTube as they provide the YouTube, the live stream service. And it would be convenient for subscribers on YouTube to just see that I'm live and not have to use another platform. But as YouTube doesn't seem to be able to provide a stable service, I'm not going to waste my time providing them with my streaming content. So I should check out Twitch, I guess. Welcome everybody. It's a Kitbashing Weird WWI live stream yet again. And I apologize if this stream becomes extra more random than usual. My brain, for some reason, decided that 4 o'clock this morning is the perfect time to wake up. My body did not understand the point of this. And since my brain has not really provided any information on why this was necessary yet, here we are. Jim, how are you doing? Morning all, says Jim. Painted up some knucklebone sculpts for the last war yesterday, making some finishing touches whilst I hang out here. Good stuff. I'm far away from painting anything. I'm just in the middle of kitbashing. Wait, I'm missing a miniature. There it is. Oh. Last week, we were working on this fella, which is the crazy bomb dude that needs to get finished today. He's got a stick with grenades on it, which is just one of those things that you do. Previously, we have weird fellow with grenade and little scythe and holy relic shrine thing, which is, just necessary when you go to war. And then two sort of more regular troopers. Essentially, they've got medieval peasant bodies, but you can't really see it for all the stuff. Lots of bags, as you kind of need to scavenge your way across the trenches, and stuff like that. All pretty much made from Wargames Atlantic plastic kits, as well as 3D printed bits, as well as strange bits, like this entire shrine is built off of Stormcast hammers and stuff, apart from the head there, which is 3D printed. So bits and pieces from everywhere, kitbashing my way through the very weird World War I. Anders Johansson says, never liked live streams on YouTube. Twitch comes with the added benefit that people with Prime can sub for free. That's kind of why I don't like Twitch, because all the things you just wrote is like mumbo jumbo. What do you mean you can sub for free? What's a sub, and why does it cost money otherwise? And I don't know, but I guess that's where we're going. Adrian, how you doing? Welcome, Adrian. Donnie Love says, hello from bed. Being laid off. I read Getting Laid, and I was wondering why that this whole thing became weird. As why would I be keeping you and whoever person was sharing that moment with you. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you're not getting laid. You're in fact getting laid off, which is a shame. I hope that works out. Told you about the 4 o'clock in the morning brain. Please, everyone, press the like button. It helps other people know that this the screaming stream is going on, especially since people who've been waiting for the original stream are now wondering, where did it go? Pressing the like button will tell people that we are in fact live. Daniel Löf says that got weird. It did indeed go weird, but we are in weird times. I'm convinced that if more people would get laid instead of laid off, we'd all be happier. Hello, MIBA. And the Killing Joke says, I had a look at the Wargames Atlantic miniatures. They're nice. I may end up buying some in a few months. I like it. It's different from if you're used to Warhammer, for example. You'll definitely get a feeling of the sort of true scale, which is more like a historical miniature. It's supposed to look like a shrunken person and not a sort of fantasy type sculpt. You know how the I don't know what I've got to compare with right now. I've got a few. Let's, for example, let's have a look at some different things here. This is a array of different things. Here's an old hammer orc. Is this even in focus? We're kind of in focus. There's an old hammer orc. Nicely painted, that, isn't it? This is from Ravaged Star. This is actually supposed to be a space dwarf, which is larger than the orc. This is can't remember what they're called now. Sorry, they sponsored a video. It's supposed to be one of them space troop soldiers, not by Games Workshop. And here is a Stormcast Eternal. This is a Wargames Atlantic 28mm World War I fella. So, you know, if you're used to the fantasy or the more sci-fi kind of stuff, you'll get a feeling of petiteness, which is not actually the fact that, you know, these aren't small necessarily. It's just the other ones are large. If, on the other hand, you're used to Infinity, which is also 28mm, and the sort of realism that is called true scale instead of heroic scale, which is what these fantasy miniatures are called, when the hands are really large and the head is large and stuff like that. If we look at this orc, the head, this is old school stuff, but the hand is in fact as large as the head, whereas in real life, it's not really happening, is it? So it's just a different style, but also just a actual true 28mm scale, and not whatever this other stuff is, 32, 35, something. The really cool thing is all the bits on the sprue and the sort of customization. There's no heroic poses that you just, sometimes you buy Warhammer and there's just one way to put that miniature together. Whereas in this case, you can put the arms what way you want, choose the weapons, turn the head, do all the things as with the old school Warhammer. Corwin's Tabletop, how are you doing? Is wondering, the beverage of choice today is, of course, coffee, because of the 4 o'clock in the morning waking up. I also had since I've pretty much worked last stream, I'd worked all days before the stream before it. This time I've actually had 2 days off during the weekend with my son. But I was out of town before that doing some photography work. And the same goes for yesterday. It was a long day yesterday. So I'm a bit knackered. JJ, good morning from Belgium. Adrian Gidding says, I moderate a Twitch channel. Happy to help if you decide to go that way and need pointers. I mean, it feels like it, doesn't it, Adrian? I can't really... I mean, obviously, if I could just, I set up the stream, everything works. It's working now. So obviously, all this, the setup works, the equipment works. It's just YouTube's backend doesn't work. And if that's going to happen every stream, that I have to reset up a stream, do things twice, that's not really helping creators out, is it? And if they want to compete with Twitch when it comes to live streaming, maybe they should just shape up. Anders Johansson says, Twitch subscriptions are like YouTube memberships or Patreon. Okay, that's nice. You mean people give me money, which is cool. Again, people, if you don't want to give me money, at least press the thumbs up. But, money's better. No, seriously, I do enjoy seeing that like button being about the same amount of people that's in the chat or in the stream. And there's 37 of you watching me drink coffee right now, and there's only 16 of you that actually enjoy watching me coffee. Maybe it's the coffee. Daniel Löf says, have you tried Morkborg, Forbidden Psalm, or Kill Sample Process? I haven't. I, of course, know of them. As they're from around here, some of them, and the art is very cool. The books are very cool. It's the kind of sort of books that I'd kind of like to buy just because it would be nice to have them to look at. But I haven't. Hollow the Wise Wolf says, evening, folks. I see YouTube, it did the thing again. It did indeed, yes. But welcome. JJ says, Trench Crusade, maybe. Can definitely be Trench Crusade. I'm actually mainly making miniatures for this game that you can't see because of the lights. It's called The War Transformed, which is a weird World War I game released previously this year. Was it, or was it last year? I can't remember. First published in Great Britain in 2023. Written by Frederick Silburn Slater. It's got maybe a bit more of a combination of a more realistic setting in the fact that, Trench Crusade is a lot more fantastical. This is actually sort of, there was a First World War, but then weird things happened and magic sort of arrived and stuff. But so the world is still sort of looked like we would have been used to it up until sort of the war or something. And then the difference is that it's more the magic and the beasts and the gods and whatever stuff like that has appeared is maybe more grounded in folklore rather than Christianity. I'm just, which is like Trench Crusade is like heaven and hell and stuff. This is more like beast gods and moon goddesses and stuff like that. I kind of like that pagan vibe more. I just think the setting is very cool. I've done videos on it if you're interested. Unfortunately hidden in my videos on building a 6x4 foot gaming table. So if you look at my video on building a 6x4 foot gaming table, you will in fact learn things about the War Transformed. Miniatures can, of course, what I'm kitbashing is like generic weird World War One. So it could be Trench Crusade. I'm just not using the Christian iconography. It could also be weird war, the last war or whatever. Just me having fun with the concept, kind of. Good morning, Eric, and hello, Zed. You were already here. JJ is also drinking a mug of coffee, which is fitting. Robin Opelander, 2 hours or less on my Kickstarter from 3 years ago arrive. Orbital strike about to hit my backlog. 10.5 kilos of terrain. It's funny with Kickstarters, really, isn't it? You kind of 3 years later you get to pay for your old mistakes. No, I'm sure it's it sounds orbital strike sounds like sci-fi terrain then. Daniel Leff says, weird, I got an ad break. Yes, you do get ad breaks. I unfortunately am not in the position of working for free, I guess. Not that the ad revenue from YouTube is humongous, but it does help. Holo the Wise Wolf says that's a lot of terrain to Robin. Indeed. Spicy Pete Paints, good morning from the Cotswolds. Good morning. Killing Joke says the weird is still underused and I appreciate every single bit of it. Indeed. And we should get started with some kit bashing. Good morning, Daniel from Norway. How are you doing? I was actually I've had issues with the kit bashing. One is I need more weird bits. I still haven't, as I said, I've been out working a lot. I haven't had time to go into stores, buy anything. I've been looking a bit more for occult bits, and people have recommended the stuff from Frostgrave, like Frostgrave Wizards and Frostgrave Cultists. So I should get those kits. It's always nice to have, more bits to kit bash things, other than the War Games Atlantic stuff. I also want bombs. One of the weird things that I think is fun and sort of a little bit of my narrative, apart from the weird, is a sort of a bit of a scavenging thing. There's lots of bags and stuff, and I think it's kind of fun that people just walk around carrying big bombs around, because you would never do that, and so it's weird, and it's also like, oh look, I found this, we need it, let's pick it up and bring it along. So a sort of scavenging part of it. And one of the things that I thought I would do was to make bombs. So, for instance, out of beads. And so I went looking for beads. And see in the middle section of beads is like, could be bomb-shaped beads. That was the first. I've been looking for so many beads, and that's the first sort of slightly oval sort of bomb-shaped beads I found in a box of tons of lots of other beads that you can use to make a bracelet, and it was like £10 or whatever, $11-12 or something. It's a lot of money for just, I'm going to make a few bombs out of some beads. Need some, I'm not going to spend that money on buying that new shiny thing. And I haven't really found any other bead outlet. I obviously thought it would be fun just to actually make some. But as time flies and I work a lot and I can't go around town looking for bead shops, I've 3D printed bombs. I'm sorry. Here's my latest 3D printing thing that happened. We've got little bombs. We've got lots of shells. We've got larger shells. Lots of them. More bombs. So I've made bombs. Essentially, my 3D printing machine has made bombs. I've also, printed some weird things. Here's a tombstone, which is kind of the resulting the end. The bomb happens first, and then the tombstone happens. Here's an empty shell. There's also the books. I've been wanting books because books is also weird. Here's a book. Here's another bomb. There's more books somewhere in here. Here's a stack of books. So someone can carry around a stack of books on their back, which is kind of weird if you also have a bomb next to it. See, that right there is kind of a fun backpack. Yeah, so some fun bits and pieces. I also kind of went bonkers because if I'm going to print stuff, I might as well print the whole plate. So we've got Orthodox priest, maybe. We've got monk in robes. Could be useful. Here's some fellows with chainmail. Don't know if I'm going to use them, but maybe. There's a priestly arm holding book. We've also got, this is my favorite, a medieval crash test dummy. This is probably the best piece of stuff I've found in a long time. Oh, look, here's another arm holding book. We've also got skeletons. Always need some skeletons. This is the Orthodox priest's head. Not sure about that. We'll see. Bags, candles, pieces of rope, more books, more bags, grenades, more bombs. Head, skull. So there's bits. So my bomb fellow should get bombs on him, but I also want to make someone carrying this medieval crash test dummy on his back, but we need to put maybe like a gas mask on the medieval crash test dummy. Kind of like a scarecrow thing, but you have it on your backpack so that the enemy shoots the scarecrow instead of shooting you, perhaps. Sounds good. Eric says, I've been kitbashing Horus Heresy Marines with Tamaya 135th US Marines for this game. I mean, the 135th scale is a lot larger, isn't it? They'd be about this yay tall compared to mine. Ian says, morning, Alex. Might not catch much of this as I have plans. Well, good to see you anyway, Ian. Daniel F says, not complaining. It's just the first time that happened during a live stream. That's strange. YouTube should be putting them in automatically every now and again. Maybe you've been given like a stamp, like this guy. He's not going to buy anything that we advertise, so we might as well not advertise. Zed is asking, what 3D printer do you use? These are all printed on it's over there, Sonic Mighty Mega. Very large Sonic. Frozen. That's the company. 8K something. I can't really see from here. Yes, 8K. Frozen Sonic Mighty or Mega 8K. Using a sort of it's called an RPG resin, which means it's a little kind of flexible. Things don't break as easily. So like this sword here, I don't know if you can see it from there. It's bendy resin, which is nice when you drop stuff on the ground and it doesn't actually just explode, which is fun. Whole of the Wise Wolf says, where did you end up finding the book prints? It's actually a bit mixed. I think most of these books are from... See, I get confused. A while back, I made a video on it. I made a library. It was a miniature library that was actually a miniature library. It was like a proper library that you put books in, but it was about this yay size that was placed. There was lots of them placed by friends of mine for this thing around Stockholm, where essentially they filled them with books. But then there's the fact that, you can it's like a communal thing. When you've read a book, you can put your book in there and you can pick another one. And some of these were done nicely, usually reflecting whatever, if there was one next to the royal castle, maybe it looked a bit like the royal castle or whatever. And I made one that was placed next to the biggest library in Stockholm, and so it had an extra floor on it. From the outside, it kind of resembled that library, and on the inside there was an extra floor that looked like a library with miniatures and book cases and stuff like that. While doing that, I downloaded lots of STL files of books. So I think some of these prints are from the fact that I was looking through my STL files of previously purchased things. I know some of them are also from, I backed a Kickstarter once that was basing bits. I can't remember what the company was called, but it's like plants and flowers and stones and all kinds of bits that you could use to put on your bases when basing. And the more stretch goals that were covered, the more weird things were popping up, like frogs and tortoises. And at some point, there was also books, I think. So there's some books from that. These priests, or whatever, holding books, that's from... I know there's an arm here as well that was actually more neatly holding a book. This one. I like this because it's more like holding a notebook. It's really small. But so that's like someone... see, here's a Viking. Whoa, whatever. Come on. Just casually holding a bit of a notepad. That arm and these other ones, that's the monks and the Orthodox priests and whatnot, are from Wargames Atlantic Digital, which you can find on my Mini Factory as well. The good thing about that is when you 3D print it, essentially most things fit onto the Wargames Atlantic's plastic bits as well. So like arms and heads and stuff. I mean, it's the same sculpting. It's just that it's 3D printed instead of hard plastic. Hello, Felix. How are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna start with... I need to glue... I want to do that fellow with the crash test dummy on the back. I'm just going to glue something on the base. I'm for once going to use one of these favorites. I wonder if he's just going to be standing around, maybe. I've got these favorite torsos here, which is also from Wargames Atlantic. These are supposed to be Foreign Legion, French Foreign Legion. Sort of, I think maybe even pre-World War I. I really like those bodies, but I also might just use one of the regular British torsos from the plastic. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's just use one of the regular plastics. I just want to glue something to a base so that the glue has time to dry while I glue bombs to my bombman. Remember, if you're keen I know I'm just here talking a lot and mainly about kit bashing, but if you have any other hobby questions, stuff like that, just ask them in the chat, and I'll happily oblige with answers if I have any answers. The Killing Joke says, I'm still afraid of resin. I think that's probably a healthy outlook. I'm kind of surprised at the lack of, I guess, information on what actually the resin is. We always get told we're supposed to be careful and, use gloves and stuff like that. But we're not really told why we should be using the gloves. I just do it, but I don't really, know why. I've from what I understand, the plastic particles, I mean, it's like nanoplastics, but in liquid form. And particles like that are usually small enough so that they can actually enter through, the pores of your skin, and enter your body, because they're just so tiny. But I don't know if it's just the plastics. I mean, I've also read that we pretty much, from just being alive in the world we're alive in, we get like yay much plastic in us weekly from just being alive, resin printing or not. Okay, so gluing this fellow to the base, just so that that's done, and then we're going to take a look at the bomb man and finish the bomb man from last week. So there's a few things. Oops, there we are. This is a man with bombs on a stick. Grenades. There we are. That's better. Some of these grenades are really just kind of floating around because they're just glued on there. I've been thinking what I should do to make it look more like they're tied in place. And I arrived at the simplest sort of solution, which is just to use some thread. This kind of looks like it's from World War I as well. Made in England. I just found this at home. It kind of looks like it's doubled. There's two of them. I just want one. And I figure if I just kind of dip this in super glue and just glue it on. And Bob is my uncle. The Killing Joke says, "Oh, that makes me stay away from resin even more." Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how. I know very little about it, which is probably what most people can say. I just know that I use like a breathing mask and plastic, the right kind of protection so that it never touches my skin, and I never 3D print in the room that I'm in. I 3D print in this room, but I never print while I'm here so that it has time to evaporate. All the fumes have time to go away before I enter. I also have air filters and stuff. I remember having a super glue that was more liquidy. This one's really thick, but I can't really see it now. It's up there. I first thought I could just use white glue for this little stuff, but I just don't want to sit and hold it in place for ages. Corwin says, Goobertown Hobbies has a pretty good video about what resins are and how they work. Yeah, that's cool. It's just funny that, you know, it's up to content creators with an interest in chemistry that to do the kind of stuff, and that it's not just spelt out in the information you get when you buy the resin. Whoops, that's my water. So I'm just gonna do this and hope for the best. Maybe that's just way too much super glue, but you know. I can always just cover it with more and more string, and things should be fine. I probably should have used like a synthetic string, because this one was really like woolly. Lots of little fibers I can see, but we've already glued it in there, so we'll just have to live with that. I will then tie this around the stick, kind of like so. I might have to just cut. I don't know if you can see it, but there's lots of tiny little fibers. But I can probably just cut some of them off once the glue is dried. And get rid of that thing right away. No idea how this will look until it gets some paint on it. It'll probably just look like a weird mass of glue and string, but there we are. Now he needs bombs on his back. I think maybe just a bomb or a big shell. I think probably bomb will look more fun, like something like that. Would be great. Let's just glue that on there. Kitbashing is for me very much about just, you know, oh look, this is what happened. Not overthinking things way too much, because not when it's like this. If you got like the one hero you're working for your, just gonna kitbash the one hero for your entire Warhammer army or whatever, maybe a bit more effort is put into getting the right pieces and stuff like that. Like once I kitbashed a lady called Industra for my Stormcast army, and I bought like 50 euro, dollar, pound, whatever model, just to get the right wings to glue to my Industra. That's a different kind of kit bashing, but this is looking suitably weird. Might giving some more pouches and stuff like that in a while. But I'm going to let that glue dry for a little bit, and we're going to have a look at this fella. It's going to be, I don't really know what he's doing. He's kind of leaning over. I figured that would be fun. I think he's going to need a book, even though it looks kind of a little bit weird with the huge drapey cloth there. But I think that's the only option we've got. If we don't give him the... Oh, we'll give him this book. He's got a very important book. I wonder if he should be weirder. There's the... It's a bit more weird. I think maybe we will go weirder. Yeah. So I need to find another base. Because it's like... these bodies which are from the World War I kit, they're so nice and shiny, you know. They've got all there's not even a crease in the shirt, kind of a thing. They're just straight from the soldier factory. I think maybe I need a bit of a weirder look for this fella with the crash test dummy on its back, because it's probably not a crash test dummy. It's probably another symbol of worshipping some weird god or whatever. So I just feel that things should be maybe a bit weirder. There's some little pieces of residue bits from supports, as this is a 3D print. I'm just going to scrape them off before I glue them to the base. Hole of the Wise Wolf says, I run 2 air purifiers and need to install my air ventilation system since I'm small on space and my printer is in my hobby space. Yeah. The Killing Joke says, I remember the Industra video. Yeah. It turned out to be a great model. I think she's probably down here somewhere. Yeah, she's under my desk. Banished. Hall of the Wise Wolf says, are you thinking crustier or just strange looking? For all of this? Just strange looking. Saint Ouchie of bayonet practice, exactly. Perhaps the crash test dummy is a thing they can animate. Yeah, I'm thinking like that. So one line of thought is, sorry, I just need to find another base. One line of thought is something magical-ish, you know, like a totem kind of a thing. The other is just kind of a fun not to get hit by enemy fire, because they'll be shooting at the dummy and not the person under it, which is more like silly Weird World War One. It's like a bit more baldric. Super glue, more super glue. So I need to let that sit for a little bit. Bombman's bomb should look like it's been strapped to Bombman's back. I just don't really know how to do that. And I really should start practicing the green stuff sculpting. But it's, I don't know if I should be doing that on stream. You'll just hear me swearing a lot, which is not necessarily a great thing. Okay, so I'm going to prepare. Now I have this face that I want to use for. See, that's lovely. It's just not going to fit, I'm afraid. It's not going to fit. See, because this is a bit specific, I think. And so I need to kind of cut the back hair off, I think. But otherwise, it's a pretty good look. Hall of the Wise Wolf says, "So green stuff, leather straps." Yeah, I'm just not. I'm the. If there's something I'm not, it's a green stuff sculptor. So just leather strapping in green stuff is for me kind of a big thing, and I haven't crossed that boundary yet. Corbin says a narrow strip of cardboard can be formed into pretty easy straps and then soaked in super glue to harden it. Yeah, there's also the, I've got plastic hard and stuff. I just feel like I should be doing it in green stuff just to learn. I'm just not there yet. I'm going to cut hair off now. But I just feel that there's going to be a lot of that kind of stuff, since I'm putting so much stuff on these, especially on their backs, weird things, it'd be nice to just, so I'm kind of saving a few of them up so I can practice doing some green stuff straps, and then I can do them all in one sitting. But this fellow is definitely going to need a piece of green stuff under the head, I think. Big beard. Try rolling the green stuff flat. Let it cure a little and then add some details if you want. Cut out the strips to the size you like once it's dry. They kind of need to be shaped around the bomb. So, I see what you mean with them curing a little bit, but it can't be completely dry, right? I'll get there. It's just not doing it right now. This fellow is going to need a bit of green stuff as a neck, however. Yeah, cut when the green stuff is pliable enough to work with. Yeah, I get what you mean. Just let it cure for a bit. It's what I intended as well. It's not. I have been green stuff sculpting, and a little bit. I know a few of the tips and tricks and stuff like that, so I appreciate it. It's just, there's sometimes there's just mental barriers. You just need to get over them, and I'm not. It's not something I'm going to be doing right now. It probably will happen in the future. Corbin says, I know the feeling. That's me with airbrush blending. What's airbrush blending? Sounds scary. Max says, I get you. Sorry, I just dropped in and heard the end of the green stuff shop. No, I appreciate all the tips. It's just one of those things. I also know how much I kind of pressure myself to trying to make things look as good as possible. And so, comparatively, if we have a look at this fellow here, I would like the straps to look like these straps. And I can, it's pretty thin little straps with pretty hard edges. And so I can see myself just having to fiddle with that for a bit before putting you people up to hearing my swearing. Felix says, I feel those barriers for green stuff. For me, the barrier was easy to overcome with Milliput. I usually mix the two. Which I kind of like. Max says, the pressure of doing something for the first time with people watching is not to be dismissed either. I think mainly it's not, my mind is set to kitbashing, which is kind of getting bits and pieces together, which is not the same thing as sculpting stuff in green stuff. That's sculpting, and I kind of want to kitbash. So I want to save up for the things that need, straps or whatever. I put them aside, and then I'll practice sculpting in green stuff, and I'll have a sculpting session. This is more like a kitbashing session. Daniel says, I've done airbrush blending once with fluorescent magenta to shade skin on a bust. I was just curious of what blending was. Is it essentially just painting with the airbrush, or was it... there's all these terms. I never really quite get them. As in, what does that actually mean? What is airbrush blending? What are you blending? Are you painting with two brushes at the same time, blending the paint, or is it, so I've got a little, the neck here didn't quite fit, so I've got a bit blob of green stuff. Probably way too much green stuff. Let's use a little bit less green stuff. And old man has a scarf. Yeah, we'll fix that. He's also got weird hair. I think, did I save his hair? That would have been smart. Here's the hair. I figured I could, attach the hair as well. Just need to cut it a little bit. I'm just going to shape the scarf into a neck. Sergio Calvio has mastered that. He slaps on such bold highlights, then comes with an airbrush, and it all just fades out like magic. I'm sure he has. Corvin says, "Oh yeah, I just meant using the airbrush for creating smooth gradients. I'm comfortable using it for priming and zenithal, but I chicken out every time I think I should actually put paint on it." I get it. So yeah, painting stuff using the airbrush and not just covering stuff with paint. I see what you mean. Airbrushing is strange because I have this thing where I don't use the airbrush much because I make the videos on things, and so I'm afraid people, because people watching stuff on YouTube all the time are very very decisive. It's like, no, you used oil paint, I won't watch your videos. You use airbrush, I won't watch your videos. You're not painting Warhammer, I won't watch your videos. It's very, people are very decided in what they want, and if that's not what they're getting, then usually they just stop watching. And so some things I like with the airbrush, I kind of stopped using it because people without an airbrush don't want to watch you airbrush. And so then I kind of forget what good a tool it is. Like I used it on when I painted one of the miniatures in a recent video for Malediction. And it's such a simple thing that I should pretty much be doing on all miniatures, which is like shading. Afterwards, you're pretty much finished painting, and you just shade it from underneath, giving it, you can use just a gray or a black, or you can use a color of some sort. Just it's simple. It's like you're priming, but you're just using something rather transparent, and you're doing it from underneath instead of from above. There's like no finesse, really. It's just being a little bit careful, and it's just very efficient and looks great. And I'm like, I should be doing that on all my miniatures. If I was just painting for me, if I was just sitting here painting my army without anyone watching, that'd definitely be something I'd be doing on everything. And instead, I find myself not really airbrushing at all. Which is just the way of things. Adrian says, must be a big issue. Then you use the things you don't have. First cut a board with your table saw. Yeah. Hello, Richard. Hope you're doing well. Holo the Wise Wolf says the GW crowd really don't seem to like anything other than brush on acrylics. I mean, to a point, I think you're right, actually. But the same can be said for any, if we're going to say that there's a GW crowd, they don't really seem to like painting and building miniatures either. Like the most popular videos when it comes to Games Workshop is like lore videos and just entertainment. Videos. But yeah, I think it's just a thing. It's a very gray area as well. It's not really black and white. I wonder if I can just pop this hair back on. Felix says, I think for some tools, the price might not be the only factor. I, for example, live in an 80 square meter flat. I think mine's 65 square meters, maybe. But You're right. The airbrush itself doesn't take up any space, but a compressor sure can do. I don't think it's something that you need or should necessarily get. I was just saying that it's one of those things that I should probably just cover up the back of the head with something else rather than try and get that hair back in. I have like a home. I have a small airbrush compressor, which is about this size, which means that it just doesn't have a tank that it fills with air. So it's just on and off. You have like a constant compressor sound going. It's like, even if you're not spraying, it's just a constant, which is really, really, really annoying. But it's just nice to have. It's just so small. So, if I just need to prime something, stuff like that, I can just get it out and use that for like a couple of minutes. Which works out kind of nice. Austin says, nice that you're streaming now. Then I can have some company while I work. I'm glad I can keep you company. I know the kitbashing here isn't really... you can't see what I'm doing. Not much is happening. I'm just trying to fix this face here. Or it's the hair. And I'm soon in need of more coffee, I think. Is anyone else working on weird World War I stuff? Or is it just me? Also, my brain is woke up at 4 o'clock this morning, which is strange. Mr. Beep's model is, I'm loving acrylic pens at the moment. Use them all times on scenery and models. Yeah, they're great. I really like them as well. Is this the kind of stuff that you mean? These are from AK Interactive, I think. Just, moisten them in water. Here you go, folks. A quick demonstration. Dry pencil. Dip it in water, and paint comes off. And you can do like really easy streaks and stuff like that. And when it dries, it actually dries pretty solid. It's great to use on terrain, especially MDF builds that are flat. It's just a nice surface to attack with a pencil. Felix says the noise is okay. My kids are next room. Don't wake up when I airbrush. My wife sleeping behind me would wake up. My mind went back to where this stream started. What's that strange buzzing sound from the parents' bedroom? Adrian is painting turnip minis in English Napoleonic uniform. What do you call painting something weirdly? What do you call something painting something weirdly? Francis Bacon ripoff, I guess. Mr. Peace Model says, I have a German box of a tank for my war transformed. Cool. What scale did you find as a tank? I've crudely put some hair on the back of this man's head. He's also crudely got a weird neck. Whoops. The hair's doing weird things. This should get covered up by like a backpack or something. I'm just trying to cover up the fact that I cut his hair off. He's got the kind of look that you'd expect from someone carrying a crash test dummy around on its back. I need to get a backpack on him that I can attach the crash test dummy to. I have more bits boxes. I don't know how many backpacks I've got, but I think I've got, these are cool. Look at these. It's actually some kind of a thing. Backpack. Weird. So I should use one of them backpacks, I think. Mr. Peep says, ironclad 28mm steam tank. Okay. Where did you find a 28mm steam tank, if you don't mind me asking? Daniel Luff is assembling Games Workshop figures, and I hate it. Kitbash, and you'll have more fun. Does the crash test dummy get a distinctive helmet? I'm thinking gas mask for the crash test dummy. Seems kind of fitting. Now, this backpack actually turns out pretty great because it's got, I don't know what this is, but I can actually drill a bit of a hole in there so that the crash test dummy is properly secured. I should probably, I'm going completely bonkers with all this stuff. I have no idea what these troops are, what they're supposed to be. Like, there's no bomb stick fella, you know, and there's no I'm thinking I'm just gonna kitbash stuff and then find suitable jobs for them, rather than try and create specific types. Like, this is a troop, this is an elite troop, this is a witch, this is a magician, this is, you know, whatever. I don't really care that much. I think I just want to have fun kit bashing, and then afterwards I'll see. I also should, so far it's just the British, and I do have the Germans, of course. So I should probably, in a stream or two, give these British a bit of a rest and start doing some Germans, just to get a different view on life in general. Not knowing what one builds makes for the best surprises. It does indeed, especially when it's, you know, like this, when I just found that crash test dummy, and it's like training, sword practice dummy. Whoops. Okay, that works. Look. backpack with crash test dummy for that fella. It's not too shabby, right? But yeah, I wonder if I should I try probably glue a gas mask on the crash test dummy before proceeding. Hollow the Wise Wolf says it's kind of like a banner bearer. Yeah, that's what I mean. It could be like a standard bearer. Daniel says, what kind of coffee do you drink? Regular, pre-ground, or do you buy and grind whole beans? There's different moods. Office is always lots of cheap coffee. Sometimes at home I've got one of those machines that I'm really, it's just a small one, and you put your coffee beans in it, and then you go, and I'm so tempted to stop grinding coffee with it and start grinding like cork bark and stuff for basing instead. But I haven't crossed that threshold into the dark sides of the hobby when you start, using your toaster to speed dry oil painted minis and stuff. The forbidden coffee mix. Richard says, I'm working at the moment, but I'm a designer, so while I'm figuring out some color theory on a website project, I'm also doing the same for my kill team. Smart. I like it. The client goes, why is everything so grim looking? And like there's just browns. Okay, so I kind of like the crash test dummy's head. The question is, should I just chop that off? Okay, vote by stream. So this is the crash test dummy. It kind of looks, the head it's got does give it a very good crash test dummy vibe. I was thinking I was going to put one of these heads on, which is kind of fun, but it might also a little bit ruin the crash test dummy vibe, because that would mean actually just do a head swap, try and chop that head off, put this one on. I don't know if I've got another alternative. Like I don't have masks without head. I don't think. What do you say? Advise me, dear stream. Maybe just the helmet, or try carving the back of the mask off. Yeah, I think the problem I see is that like the eyes, the googly eyes here, it just ends in the helmet. I'm trying to cut anything off that, and I kind of just cut the glasses in half. I did find this. This is a resin print from somewhere, something, no idea. That could maybe be a bit more suited. I'm going to try and cut this up anyway and see what happens. When in doubt, make it weirder. Two heads, one crash test, one gas mask. Oh, we need the symbolism here of the holy trinity of two arms and a head. Edwin Gidding says, I have an old coffee grinder for hobbying. It's kept far away from the kitchen. Some culinary accidents aren't happy little ones. Okay. Don't know how this is going to work. I think it just might not work. But I'm not going to just stop just like that. I need to. One of the good things about this sort of sturdier resin is that it actually does act a bit more like plastic. Right? It's not bristle. I can actually cut and carve in it, which is rather nice. It's a little bit weird. I think I'm going to try and make it work with green stuff because I still have some here. Just adding a gas mask without a helmet. Because then it just looks like you've stuck a gas mask on a doll. Putting a gas mask in like a helmet, and it looks like it could be a head on a spike thing. Don't really want to do the head on a spike thing for some, I don't know why. Yeah, I've been regarding the coffee thing. Every time I go into like a charity shop, I see if I can find like a used coffee grinder thingy for hobbying purposes, but as of yet, no such luck. So I'm just going to glue this on first and then try and fix it with green stuff, maybe a little bit. It's kind of difficult to show you because the bits are small and my fingers are big. But James is wondering, what would you use the coffee grinder for? Things like, chop up your wine cork and put it in a coffee grinder thing, and you get lots of little pieces of cork that you can put on bases and stuff like that, or just any random things you find outside and you want to make them smaller for the miniature world. I don't actually have one. I want one. That's what the discussion was about. All right, I'm going to glue this on, and then I'm just going to go and refill my coffee. Here we are. This is a tiny little gas mask, which is now getting some glue. To go on the dummy. Like so. Excellent. It's pretty good, yeah. So I'm just going to, and then maybe pop a little bit of green stuff. Maybe somewhere, somehow. I don't know. Joy in life is found in the little things, my friends. I'm just going to get some coffee, and because of that, I need to press this button. Back with coffee. Carbox says, really like your setup. Thanks. It's looking a bit messy, but thank you. I'm actually going to move out of this place relatively soon, and so the setup will have to change. I don't really know in what manner. I'm wondering if I can give the dummy a rifle. Dummy should have a rifle, right? Does that rifle have a hand on it? No, it doesn't. Paulie says, I use an old food processor to shred toilet paper when I'm making my own sculptor mold. That's smart. The Killing Joke says, the workplace calls me. Have a good time. Well, it's been nice to see you. Ben says, is there a place where I can see your current kitbashed models? I guess that would be here, Ben. I mean, I do kitbash a lot of stuff for other games in the past. There's probably several kitbash videos on YouTube. But if you're specifically thinking about the Weird World War stuff, it would be here, and I can show you what I've been working on so far in just a little sec. Let's have a look. Here's a Weird Shrine Fellow, which there's some kind of a shrine going, built out of Stormcast hammers and some other bits and pieces. We have Weird Bomb Guy, grenades on a stick, and bomb on a back. Is not quite done. I need to do some kind of straps on that bomb, so it looks like it's sort of tied to his back. We've then got two sort of regular riflemen, sporting lots of pouches. In theory, medieval peasant clothing. It just doesn't really show for all the bags and stuff. Some of these bags are actually scale modeling, like from a larger scale of World War II soldiers. Random bits and pieces. The axe there is as a bayonet. It's pretty fun. And currently we've got this fellow. And I'm missing my. Yeah, there we are. That guy is going to have a backpack with this thing on it. For some reason. That's the kit bashing so far. Ben, hope you like it. Paulie B says, I think it would be great if you did a photo shoot of the models and posted them on the Discord. I sure can do that. Definitely. I think I took a picture of 3 of them at some point, probably up on Instagram. I can't keep track, honestly. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm currently working on the next video as well. As well as, for some reason, I also have another job. I can't really keep track of everything. It's a bit annoying sometimes. Yeah. Okay, that just kind of doesn't look great. Just stuck a rifle on here. Doesn't really. It just ruins the the lines, the aesthetics. I think he's going to have to be rifleless. It could be rifle strapped on the back in that case, but it's kind of a nice silhouette as well. It's a little bit nice and simple this way. So maybe there shouldn't be more going. I'm wondering what this green stuff is like. Larpbeard is wondering, are these freeform or made for a specific army list? These are more freeform. My sort of intended use is a game called War Transformed. It's underneath there, which is another weird World War I game. These are based on British troops, so this would, could be a squad of British troops, I guess. But it's just free form. I'm purposely kind of not doing the Trench Crusade aesthetic. I talk about this every stream. I guess we'll just have to live with that. Which is the it's just a personal thing. I'm not overly fond of the Christian aesthetic thing with the crosses and that. I'm just a little bit bored by it. And so I'm just sticking to weird and a little bit pagan, rather than just sticking crosses on everything. Apart from that, it could be anything infantry related. I think the joy of games like this is that if you're wondering what I'm doing, is I'm trying to make a strap out of green stuff. It just happened. The joy of this kind of game with like the kit bashing and everything is essentially you just choose what you want. If it's got a rifle but it's supposed to have a pistol, or if it has a pistol but it's supposed to have like a grenade launcher, maybe it's not hugely important, or just kit bash tons of miniatures so that you've always got one with a grenade launcher if you need it or whatever. And like making weapons, like what this is a guy with grenades on a stick. There's not going to be rules for him necessarily in any game, so I just have to say what it is. If it's just a regular infantry person, or if it's some weird hero, or if it's actually whatever. I kind of just enjoy that a bit more. The free form. I'm wondering if it's can I just use this as a strap now and just move on in life? No, the green stuff is stuck to my finger. Look, I'm making a strap. Kind of. Weirdly strapped to the back. I guess I should just cut them off. Cut, please. Thank you. Daniel Love says a strap on. I'm not sorry. Indeed, it's been that kind of a stream, Daniel. You're just works fine by me. Torpedo infantry, indeed. No stick. Okay. At least it's kind of stuck to his back for a reason now. Yeah, because there's a strap. What I was actually trying to do the strap is to get some kind of small strap going from, or whatever, something going from there around the head, just holding the mask on, because then I can leave it open like that, because it just looks like someone hung a mask kind of strangely on here. I'm cutting thin strips of green stuff. And it is indeed a bit scary. That's why I'm all quiet. Because it's also sticking down it. Okay, let's see if I can use that. I've got a mighty thin piece of green stuff. That's sticking to my finger more than it's sticking to the plastic. And I'm going crazy. And it's stretching out. Okay, stop. And it just doesn't look great, but maybe it'll look a little bit more like it's attached, you know? There we are. I'm sorry, this is not all that much entertainment for those of you that are just kind of listening, but I'm concentrating here. Goodbye, Felix. See you. I hope you enjoyed my quiet stream. Okay, so I've made straps. Yay, we've made straps. Kind of. Now we can glue this to the backpack, and then we can glue the backpack to the fellow. Lob says you got to wet your fingers. I could wet my fingers, but then they would be wet. And I wouldn't know how to grip things. I'm just going to shape this one a little bit so it's just not all flat. I'm using high-tech tools, as you can see. These are dipped in a little bit of water. Just kind of pressing it down in the middle so we get a bit of a shape of like a belt or something like that. Okay. Now let's glue the backpack. No, let's glue the thingy to the backpack. Or the backpack to the man. Who cares? Ramirez, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Ostian says, I have two screens, so I'm half watching. That's good, because there's sometimes today I feel like there's not all that much happening in the listening department, but you'll have to excuse the fact that kitbashing is at times a little tricky, and my full concentration is needed. There we are. We have the backpack, and now we're going to stick the crash test dummy into the backpack without ruining too much of that green stuff. There we are. Look, the fellow's a bit happy as well, which is kind of nice. I don't really know what's happening with his neck and the hair, to be honest. But we'll just have to live with the fact that he's got some kind of a thing going there. Weird disease, maybe. He's happy, which is great. I think he should have a book and a gun, obviously, like a revolver or something. It'd be even more fun. I wonder if what kind of hands have we got? Can he be holding a bomb? First, I need to see what's. Do I have hands with revolvers? There's a right arm. Is there a left arm with a gun? Oh, there's another right arm with a revolver. Are there revolvers? There's a right arm with a revolver. I want a left. I don't know why. There doesn't seem to be any left hands with revolvers, which is a shame. Here's a left hand with a revolver. So there's two options. There's the classic dual wielder. This guy looks like a pirate. So that's kind of fun. There's a happy pirate guy. We could also try and find an arm or a hand that is open that I can put like a big shell like this is kind of fun as well. So are we doing two revolvers, or are we doing holding a shell? We could also be doing holding a shell in one arm and like a book in the other. Like this is the holy witness ye less faithful, the holy hand grenade. That's also fun. It's lots of options. Holding a shell and a revolver is one suggestion so far. I'm looking for hands holding nothing. Not much there. Mr. Gatsby, how are you doing? I'm having a fantastic day. I hope you are too. So we've only got one vote for a shell and a revolver, and so I guess that's what we're doing. Oh, here's another fun hand. Let's try that one as well. I'm looking for empty hands to fill with shells. There's some pointing hands, which is kind of fun, but Paulie B likes the bomb and the book look. Flying Solo says, hello, Alex from Australia. First time catching a live stream. Welcome. I believe this live stream is timed particularly well for my Australian audience. So I'm glad you're here. Thomas Sola said, hey, nice to see this. I wondered why I didn't get my notifications. YouTube gives notifications for things that it thinks is popular, i.e. At the moment, not me. Hand holding. He hold this grenade. Okay, so that's look at this. I don't know if you can see because I'm having to hold it pretty but he's grabbing the shell, holding it aloft, being the mighty shell it is. It's pretty good. So let's just do that. I should probably glue the shell into the hand first, however, and leave it for a bit and then glue the rest on. Thomas says, I think I clicked on notify me. The other stream was cancelled because YouTube screwed things up again. So when I was going to start that stream, it didn't start, and there was no way of starting it. Same as happened the week before, and so I had to recreate a new stream. So that's why I'm going to be looking into Twitch now, because this has happened 2 weeks in a row, and it's just a waste of my time and your time, honestly. If YouTube doesn't want to create a stable streaming platform, then let's go check Twitch out. Ben says the dummy is really hilarious. I love it. I love it too. See if I can just glue that arm straight on right away. Ooh. Something like yay. Maybe taking a bit much focus from the dummy when it's held up that high, but it's also kind of fun. This, my friends, is why kitbashing is a joyful thing. Look at me, I've got a grenade. I'm so happy. And then if we can find him a gun, that's pretty fun too. We could give him a book, but not too bad, yeah? Thomas says, ouch, I did a couple of YouTube videos some years back for kicks. Was a hassle. I mean, the videos side of things, it's fine. It's the live streaming things. Like it's not very stable. Austin says, I got an add-on for Firefox called Unhook that turns off YouTube's suggestions, so I only get channels I follow on YouTube. That's probably why you can see me. Okay, so there's an option for a revolver. Is there any other option? I don't think so. I think the revolver is probably a good option. I mean, he could be a hand holding a rifle or something, but it's just not. Let's see what other weapons I've got. I've got a knife, but I've also got a spade, trench shovel. So next vote is Happy Fella with the holy shell. Can sport a trench shovel, like yay. That's a pretty nice little silhouette there. Can also sport a dagger, bayonet thing, like so, or a revolver, like so. What do we got? Polly says the spade could make him like he just dug up the bomb. That's true. I kind of like the spade look. Tomasalo says simply bookmarking the YouTube subscriptions page removes most of the chaff. Bookmarking the YouTube subscriptions page. Yeah, like going through subscriptions instead of your homepage, definitely. I've seen recently, though, that that's not what people in large do. Like if I check the traffic on where people that watch my videos, I think only about 7 or 8% come from the subscriptions page, and whereas the rest come from just the homepage. You know, people just click whatever is suggested to them in large. Okay, we're going for shovel. Just the way it is. Look at that. What a fine fella. Look what I just found. You said it really looks like I just dug this thing up. This is great. Maybe we can give him. Should have done that before I glued any arms on. Maybe I can. Maybe he could have like. Could he have a rifle? Just, you know, some kind of weapon somewhere, or is he just the shovel guy? That's a pretty funny fella. Look at these. Who'd want to meet these terrible folk on the battlefield? I'm going to have a look through the bits and see if there's anything I can stick on this fella that will make things better. But I kind of don't think so. There's more bags. He's got plenty of bags. There's a rope. No. I mean, he's not as impressive as that Trench Crusade bomb witch. He's got you know, he's got the will. He's just not got the magic quite yet. I would like to have something on him that makes him look a little bit more First World War. looking a bit much like a pirate right now, and maybe a bit Napoleonic. But I don't really know what kind of a bit that would be. I could give him a gun holster. That would be nice of me. I wish there was loose gas masks and not just gas masks on heads, because then we could hang a gas mask sort of on him somehow, or just loose helmets. I think that it would be nice with more bits, you know, with any kit. Like always get some spare helmets, different type of weapons or bags, or just stuff. If not just for basing purposes, like there's someone dropped their helmet on the base or whatever. I realize there's no economics behind any of that, but we can always dream. Anders Johansson says, maybe try sculpting some goggles. I think that is above me. I just did the straps. I'm happy that I've done the straps. I'm not gonna jeopardize things more than that. I'm gonna give him. I thought I was gonna give him a pistol. I just don't know where to fit it. He's already got so many bags everywhere. Pistol's not going to fit anywhere, honestly. Nope, no pistol. That was unnecessary. Can I just make him weirder by giving him... No. So many bits. So little time. Maybe he's just done. I did... Gas mask. Why is there no just gas masks? Here's some grenades. It's going to be too much. I think I'll just have to leave him for now. Adrian says, yes, one good thing on occasional Space Marine kits is spare helmets. Yeah. Paulie says, I think he's fantastic. Each of your models are definitely telling a story. I appreciate that. Paulie. It's very nice of you to say. I'm just happy being able to sit here kit bashing with friends. Maybe that's what this stream is supposed to be called. Okay, I'm at least going to do this because I need to put him in the right time period in ways. Here's grenades. So he can at least have some grenades stuck to his backpack. Like that. Who doesn't want grenades? It does look weird though, because they're kind of sticking out. I think these grenades are made to be... Oh, do I have other grenades? There was such a good plan. It didn't work out because it looked weird. Here's a loose grenade. I can just stick that on there. Maybe. It's carrying a grenade around. Okay, let's do that. One grenade on the backpack. Does he have a belt in front? Yeah, there's a belt in front. There's just so much stuff going on already, you know. And because of the pose, everything becomes very, whatchamacallit, groinal. You know, there's already pouches and bags and things everywhere. But I don't know if you get my idea here, but it would be nice with some bit that just made him a little bit more of the time period. But maybe the shovel and the shell and the gas mask on the fellow up there. That gas mask. We'll just have to do it. See if I can give that grenade on the backpack a bit of green stuff. Paula B says, honestly, kit bashing with friends is fitting. Your live streams give a similar feel to modeling parties from my younger years with friends. Wow, that makes me feel mature. It's a good title though, kit bashing with friends. It also, all these kind of like how you label things, I find it very difficult on YouTube because I'm not a YouTuber very much. I do things and I put them on YouTube, but I'm not good at YouTube and I'm not therefore much of a YouTuber. Obviously, a stream like this will, calling it, kit bashing Weird World War One, will entice some people to join because they're like, I'm also kit bashing World War One stuff. Let's check out this live stream. On the other hand, everyone who isn't might go, no, I'm kit bashing Space Marines, so this is not going to be for me. Or maybe being a bit more open and redubbing them into kit bashing with friends. Tuesday kit bashing with friends, just kit bashing with friends is maybe a good idea. I hate that whole side of YouTube, especially now that it's become more important. When essentially anything scam will attract views, and anything which is called how to paint red nicely will not attract views. Is not really a climate that I enjoy. I hope you all realize that you've made me make straps from green stuff during this stream. Peer pressure, I guess we can call it. Relan says, hey, I love your videos. Glad I could catch your live stream. Welcome, and I appreciate it. I'm glad you like the videos. As these are sort of kit bashing live streams, there's tendencies of quiet consideration and concentration compared to some live streams where I just talk. And usually when I talk, then people write more in the chat. And so I have more things to say because people speak to me. But as soon as, I start doing things and stay quiet, then it turns into a different kind of just hangout stream, which is fine by me. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that this, if you haven't watched me live stream before, then this is a little bit different just because we're essentially just hanging out, hobbying together. I'm currently trying to do little straps so that grenade kind of looks like it's not just glued on, which kind of worked out, kind of didn't. I also lost my other piece of strap. No, there it is. There's also apparently the super glue still drying. Whoopsie. But there's a strap and there's another strap. He's at least got a grenade on his backpack. After that, I think this fellow's going to have to be done. It's not quite the, as I said, not quite the grenade bomb witch, but quite a lovely character. Okay, there we are. We've got fella really happy that he dug up a grenade. Also, very happy he didn't get shot because the stupid enemy is only shooting at the dummy. If they miss the dummy, they might hit the grenade, and the whole thing goes boom. We also got a sort of weird. I wonder if I can. I should probably do that off stream. I did this sort of thing here with way too much super glue and sewing thread to make it look like these grenades. You know, now in retrospect, maybe I should have waited until my green stuff strap skills were heightened. But we'll just have to live with this. What I could do, I think, is maybe just grab a lighter and quickly put fire to these little strands of thread here. He also got a bomb on his back. I also want to give him a little bit of a banner hanging here. That'll be for next stream, maybe. It would be kind of suitable. So that's awfully weird. World War I for today. Adrian says, save that for a Highlander. A grenade sporran would be hilarious. You translate that, please, Adrian. I don't know what a sporran is. Daniel Love says, what a strapping lad. Oh my, it's 6 minutes past 12. You'll have to translate sporran to me, Adrian, in the Discord instead. Sporran, purse you wear with a kilt. Ah, I get it. Grenade sporran. Thank you, Corwin. On that note, for those of you that feel like I'm a strapping lad and would like me to donate some cold hard cash so I can get my own sporran and kilt, then you can join the 52 Miniatures Discord channel. No, you can't. It's the Patreon. So I woke up at 4 this morning. As I said in the beginning of the stream, my brain decided that was a good idea and has now not really come to terms with the fact that is what happened. There's a Patreon for those that want to just keep the channel going. It's pretty much what does keep the channel going in terms of me being able to spend time creating videos. So please check it out if you feel that it would be nice to support the channel somehow. If not, at least give this video a thumbs up, even after it's been live, because it just helps spread the video and other people can watch this while they sit in hobby in retrospect. I'm going to check out the Twitch thing, maybe not immediately. I also have to move from this bunker to another place within like a month, and I'm ignoring that and kind of stressing out. So next week's stream will probably be in the same place, definitely at the same day and same time. I think Tuesday next week. We just keep on kitbashing. Maybe it'd be called Kitbashing with Friends. Then we'll see. But I think looking into Twitch will be positive, because it's just annoying. I set all this up and I go, I prepare the stream the day before so that people can in advance know that it's going to happen. And then when it does happen, the back end of YouTube doesn't work. regardless, it's been great hanging out with you people today. I hope to see you in a stream in the near future. I'm now going to get back to a bit of real work and then get back to working on the next video. This was a really fun kit bash, I've got to say. It's not as grim maybe as could be expected, but it's fun. And who doesn't say that weird wars can also be fun? I've got a little war band going here almost. There's 5 of them now, and it's looking fun. I'm just rambling now. I should turn this off, and I hope to see you soon in a stream once more. Bye. I'll press this button. It looks like I just went to go have some coffee. Might be some time, probably until Tuesday next week. Bye.